Legacy is over. After 3 toy lines and $3,000 withdrawn from my bank account, this banger line has come to a close. Replacing it, we got Age of the Primes, but let's be honest, that's just Legacy Round 4. I see you, Armada Red Alert. Now this video is going to encompass all 3 Legacy lines. The first one, Evolution and United, and that's because unlike its predecessor, the War for Cybertron trilogy, these 3 didn't really have a lot of differences between them. They were all just kind of extensions of one another. So does this multiverse spanning toy line stand up with the best of them? Let's take a little look-see. Now before we dive right into Legacy, I want to take a look at the line right before it, Kingdom. Now originally, I was going to make a full video on Kingdom. I wrote like a pretty good chunk of it and realized that there just wasn't really enough for a full video. The TLDR, Kingdom was a great toy line that was basically just Studio Series 86 with most of the Beast Wars cast mixed in. Also Trax was there, screw Trax. But the important thing here is Beast Wars, not Trax. See, up to this point, most generations Transformers toy lines only featured figures of the G1 variety. Yeah, we would occasionally get some non-G1 toys, but it was usually limited to like 1 per toy line, and the rest were just banished to the wasteland of Generations selects. But Kingdom changed that. Half of this line was Beast Wars characters. Almost all of the animals were great, and everybody ate them up. I'm not even into Beast Wars, and I got a few of these fools. I've even got a Tigatron who I've never opened. Actually, while I was editing this, I did open Tigatron. There's a video of it up on my Patreon. Why is this kind of sad? Why is this kind of sad? Shameless plug over. Also, side note, we are 5 years out from Kingdom, and we still haven't gotten the full Beast Wars cast like Depth Charge, Rampage, Where Are You? But Kingdom proved that there was interest in toys outside of G1, and that meant Legacy was primed and ready to go. Get it primed because of that guy. Alrighty, now let's get to the main event. The first line of Legacy, aptly named Legacy, that's it, no subline there, was released in 2021, and this line's whole shebang was multiverse. Not surprising considering Marvel was still pushing this whole idea at the time, and everyone and their mama wasn't burned out of it yet. I will never burn out of Transformers multiverse because I'm a dumb baby. Honestly, Legacy was pretty tame with its range of universes, but still wasn't bad. Let's take a look at some of the continuities represented here. I might miss a few here. There were a bunch that were like store exclusives or just random garbage. I don't know, let me know if I missed any. We've got G1, of course, G2, Icky, Prime, more on that soon. More Beast Wars, Armada, hell yeah, and Cybertron. And the exclusives had IDW, Diaclone, G1 characters whose existence was questionable, Robots in Disguise, and Victory. That's a lot of universes. The main line didn't really have too much variation yet, but that would change in the sequel lines. And this makes sense as Hasbro seemed to be still testing the waters to see if we liked anything other than G1. We do. So how were the toys? Pretty good. Being the sequel to War for Cybertron, we kept our basic articulation, cartoon accurate scaling kind of. Things get kind of murky between continuities. And we also didn't really see any gimmicks this time. See, the early Legacy figures had these Energon weapons that were just like made randomly and tossed in with figures that kind of made sense to them. Like that's how Blitzwing ended up with these big stupid mitts. This was fine, like it didn't take anything away from the figures. The more contentious part of these guys was their designs. You see, when it was announced we'd be getting updates of new Prime figures, most people were hoping that they would just be modern updates of their original designs. Nope! Instead, they were reimaginings of the original designs, changed to look more G1ified. Personally, I don't mind them too much, but to be fair, I was never really interested in these designs anyway. And I do like some of the redesigns, but I could see why diehard fans of these shows would be put off by this. Some continuities like Beast Wars and the Unicron trilogy, though, didn't get this treatment, because how are you gonna G1ify Beast Wars? Turn Primal into a pickup truck? And Armada's already pretty G1-ish. They should make an Optimus Primal that turns into a pickup truck, and then you can open the back of it and a monkey comes out and chases kids. Quality control was pretty good here too. Out of all the figures I bought, none of them have had any huge issues, and exclusives weren't completely terrible. Most of them were just your usual niche characters. Great, thumbs up. That's what exclusive should be. But there was one that created a big issue. Cosmos was exclusive to Walmart with the Velocitron collection. Velocitron, I'll damn that name to hell! Cosmos was always gonna be hard to find because he's part of the 85 cast, but the sick bastards at Walmart? Hasbro? I don't know who's responsible for this. They short printed him. That's Yu-Gi-Oh terms. I don't know what it's called here, but they only put like 3 of him or something per box, which just meant that nobody could get him and the scalpers could have a field day. But other than that, the exclusives were fine here. So let's talk about the standout figures. Core Class carried over from Kingdom, and honestly, while fun, none of these guys stand out to me as must-haves. Deluxe-wise, Dragstrip was awesome. Kickback was a pretty good update of the Buggy Boy. Tarantulas continued what Kingdom started, and Dead End was pretty fun too. Voyagers. We had a package refresh of Kingdom Blaster, which was great. Bulkhead was a neat redesign, and Jack says, I just can't believe we got a mainline G2 accurate version of this guy, that's so cool. Maybe keep him out of UV rays though. And every leader was a banger. Galvatron, Laser Prime, Blitzwing, Megatron, all great in their own rights. Commander Motormaster was just kinda okay, but Menasor was, chef's kiss. And Titan Cybertron Metroplex was insane, like getting a Titan dedicated to a Unicron trilogy character, so good. And I will forever hate myself for not funding that HasLab Victory Saber. Oh, it was so expensive. Will you shut up, Better Judgment? So yeah, a pretty good assortment of figures. Kind of basic compared to what we would see later, but Legacy 1 is a good foundation for a potential fantastic toy line. Can't wait for the sequel. In 2023, we got Legacy sequel, Evolution. It was more or less the same thing, just an extension of the first line. We did get a gimmick in the form of Evo Fusion. This was nothing. Allegedly, the figures could combine with their weapons, but all this meant was that the weapons could plug into the 5mm ports on their bodies. Every figure can do this, it's not a gimmick. Aside from that, Evolution didn't really change much from its predecessor, except for the fact that we got even more universe representation. I'm talking G1, Headmasters, IDW, Armada, new characters, hello Scraphook, who brought back the weaponizer gimmicks from War for Cybertron, Animated, Cyberverse, Robots in Disguise 2015 and 2000, Beast Wars 2, Master Force Prime G2 IDW 2019. Did anybody even read that? And Kiss Players, ew, I don't like that. It's actually kind of insane that Hasbro even acknowledged that that thing exists. Evolution fully ditched the Energon weapon gimmick, but it was pretty much already gone by the end of Legacy 1. But they didn't fix the G1ified characters. Instead of just being straight remakes of characters like Animated Prowl or Prime Skyquake, we got redesigns again, which did not please everyone. We did see remakes of some of the Armada designs though, which was awesome. Speaking of Armada, let's take a look at the standout figures. Again, there wasn't really anything here core-wise that stood out, but for the deluxes, we had Needlenose and his Target Master, super fun guy. Shrapnel, my favorite Insecticon. Prowl looked good, even if you didn't really like the design. Beachcomber was amazing in the definitive version of this character. For Voyagers, we had Tarn and Bludgeon up there, some of my favorite Voyagers of all time. Metalhawk, a really good retool of Kingdom Cyclonus. A re-release of Earthrise Dirge, thank God. And all the leaders were good too. Armada Meg, Skyquake, and Dreadwing, all great. And dear God, Commander Armada Optimus is a godsend. Seriously, this thing is a masterpiece. And I would say for the most part, Evolution was an upgrade from its predecessor, and a very good line. Can't wait for part 3! And the grand finale to Legacy was United in 2024. United to me feels like they finally went all out with Legacy's premise. G1 figures were actually kind of scarce this time around. And we had entire waves full of characters that would make 80s G1ers poop their pants and scratch their heads. Also, I feel like United just had the best quality figures. Like every figure I bought from this line, whether I liked them or not, just felt great to handle. No cheapness here. And what universes did we delve into? Whatever the a Rock Lord is. Energon, I know the show stinks, but the designs don't. Come on. Beast Wars 2, Beast Machines. We don't need any more of those designs. Animated, The Baby Show, Cyberverse, G1 and G2, Robots in Disguise, Armada, Prime, and Cybertron. That's a lot of robots, but who are the standout figures? I hear you crying from the other side of the screen. Gears was a shockingly solid figure. And look, I didn't really get that many of the deluxes from this line, honestly. So let me know if there are any super standout ones that I or anyone else should be picking up before they completely disappear from store shelves. Voyagers-wise, Animated Optimus and Cybertron Starscream were both bangers, and Leader Sandstorm was a really well-engineered figure. I've heard Commander Magmatron was a big bundle of joy too, but I don't have them. But I do have my beloved Titan Tidal Wave. Also, United's 5th wave was re-releases of hard-to-find figures from the other two lines. Cool beans, except Amazon canceled my Cosmos. Screw me, I guess. But overall, United was a perfect capstone to Legacy. And with that, Legacy is over. As of this video, the last wave of United is just hitting store shelves and we're gearing up for our next line. Legacy for me was a game changer. Like, don't get me wrong, I love collecting G1. It's what got me into this hobby. But there is only so many sound waves you can make before the canary croaks. Transformers has such a rich wealth of lore and continuities to draw from. And finally, Hasbro has realized this. Legacy was the start of something special for Transformers. No longer must you go to BotCon 10 years ago to get a toy of Parasite. Now you only have to go to Target and beat back a horde of scalpers. But you get the point. With the success of Legacy, it feels like really anything is possible for our favorite toys, and the future is bright. We're never getting drill nuts though. Hasbro does not have the cojones for that. This is going to be the last retrospective for a really long time. I really only want to make these videos on lines I've personally collected. I didn't really get back into collecting until Titan's Return, and like Power of the Primes doesn't really have enough going on for a full video. And Studio Series 86 isn't going to be done for another like 2 or so years. I don't know, maybe I'll make like a mini Patreon episode for one. Speaking of which, I have a Patreon. The link's in the description if you're interested in supporting videos like this. I've got some exclusive videos up there, and I post all these videos earlier there as well. I hope you enjoyed my rambles, and I'll see you later.